Hey, this is Farmer John sitting in this here lemon tree, and I just wanted to let you know, since we're in this down market, not to let it get you down, because when you got lemons, you make lemonade, and then you can sell that lemonade to buy more crypto and dollar cost average your portfolio. And then as soon as the market comes back, you sell that crypto so you can plant more lemon trees. You see how that works? All right, everybody, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the moon.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Cryptopia. So today we're here with Tom Anderson. We're going to be doing an interview with him talking about the Devio project. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Tom and he can go through a little bit about his project. So Tom, the floor is yours.
Yeah, great. Thanks, John. Great to be talking with you today. I'm the CEO of Devio, a blockchain company. We've been building our blockchain for about 6 years. The thing that really is kind of unique and distinct about our blockchain is not only the kind of speed and efficiency and cost effectiveness. We did our original benchmarking about 4 years ago at 8 million transactions per second on chain on a global public blockchain with distributed consensus.
That's amazing.
Our costs, yeah. So it's arguably the world's fastest blockchain. Our costs are on the order of 1/10 millionth the cost of Ethereum. So it would cost $10 million worth of transactions on Ethereum only cost $1 on our blockchain. Yeah, orders of magnitude difference. We also designed kind of early on privacy solutions, fraud, theft, loss solutions, things that I think are going to become more and more needed in the blockchain space. But the main thing that really differentiates us from everything else in the blockchain space is our sharding solution. So sharding is basically parallelizing the processing of a blockchain. And so with our blockchain, it's a little bit different philosophy than a lot of other blockchains. Instead of having one massive mainnet that is one size fits all for everything you want to do, what we do is we create individual shards or independent blockchains that are customized for each given application. And so if your application has extra security requirements or IT requirements or speed or cost or throughput, or a lot of times regulatory requirements, we can spin up a shard just for that application. And then all of the various shards, in our case, collectively, kind of create to combine our mainnet, and they can all communicate with cross-shard transactions through kind of a clever mechanism that we created, and that's what we invented 6 years ago. So
Wow.
the implication of that then is we could solve problems that other blockchains can't solve. The ability to customize a shard to a particular use case really is a world-changing type of concept. And to me, that's the future of what blockchain really is going to be. The last thing I'll mention that's kind of unique about our architecture and our approach is we really focused on real world business needs. So again, the cost, the speed, the scalability, but also we focused on ease of integration. One of the big challenges in general in blockchain is integrating with blockchain, getting it to be used for practical purposes. And so from the very beginning, we designed this in a way that real businesses could use. And one of the real kind of design requirements around that then was that we built it with a RESTful API. So any one of the world's 25 million web developers can instantly integrate with our system just using HTTP post commands. So one of the things that's really neat recently is we've built a bunch of working web applications that were built by web development teams that had no blockchain experience. And so to get to a point where you could customize a shard, spin it up for a particular application, and then let traditional web developers build on top of it, that's all again kind of world-changing type of stuff.
Revolutionizing, the space for sure. What could you tell me a little bit about your background? I guess I'm just curious about you yourself. I mean, what got you into crypto, and what brought you to this space and to where we are right now, and in creating Devio and all the other platforms that you're building off of.
Yeah. So I'm an experienced entrepreneur. My first business was a robotics business. And in that business, I raised about $34 million. I took the company public. We created the world's first consumer 3D touch device. So it was a robot that added a very realistic sense of touch into computing. And we got into the video game industry. And in the video game industry, we licensed on the order about $100 million of video game development, published over 100 video game titles, licensed games like Tiger Woods Golf, Madden Football, NBA Live, Need for Speed, Mass Effect, Battlefield Series, Half-Life 2, Left 4 Dead, Team Fortress 2, Dirt, and Grid. Some of those are top 10 game franchises of all time. Yeah, right. great games, and we added a sense of touch into them with our robotic technology. And to make a long story short, sold our IP to Facebook. And so that was my first business. And so I have kind of, I think, a unique perspective because I'm, a video game industry veteran, but I'm also a blockchain, veteran at this point. On the blockchain side of things, started it up about 6 years ago and saw just enormous opportunity. To me, blockchain is one of the few technologies we'll see in our lifetime that really fundamentally changes computing on par with the internet. Where the internet was a disruptive platform that lets people transfer data, blockchain is a disruptive platform that lets people transfer value. And if you look at it at that most basic level, that's where you see world-changing implications. But when we first started getting into it, there were no technologies that really solved all the problems you have to solve to build a real business. And again, having kind of a traditional tech background, realized kind of the need to solve real-world problems. And so that's kind of what's led into Devio then.
That's amazing. Speaking of the gaming side, I know that you kind of have your Quint token, which is also the Litcraft universe and stuff. Could you tell me a little bit about that and how that kind of integrates and ties in with the with Devio?
Sure. So Litcraft overall is a sci-fi fantasy universe that we hope, I hope, can become one of the big sci-fi fantasy universes out there. Like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, or the Marvel universe, Star Wars, Star Trek.
I read the script and the story for Litcraft. It's amazing. I totally agree. It's
amazing. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm proud of what we've built with it, and we've been building like a lot of the underlying concepts within the Litcraft universe are kind of created with philosophies that I've been building for decades, really, even 30, 40 years. So a lot of it embodies kind of my personal philosophies about even metaphysical concepts like creation and, what our lives and existence really is. So it's got kind of a deep underlying philosophy on it, but then also it encompasses, fun stories. So the idea of Litcraft is that there are mages living right under our noses. And there's a lot of stories in literature that are kind of like that, but I think we've taken a little bit of a unique spin. It has its own magic system, which I think is really compelling, and the magic system ties in with creation. And then ultimately we hope to have movies and TV shows and even theme parks, things like that. But in the meantime, shorter term, there's a book out right now. It's called Grant Began, and then there's a game called Nesperience, Litcraft Nesperience, and that was the first game that we built on the DevX blockchain. And it's probably actually the longest running blockchain game because it was originally built as a test bed. So it's been running live for over 4 years. And
amazing.
We needed something to test the high speed kind of nature of the blockchain, the need to test many different types of assets. And so I actually took an old Flash game that I had created just kind of on my own time before Devio. It was a Minecraft type of game, and it was a perfect game for testing the blockchain because it had lots of throughput, lots of transactions, lots of different types of assets. Like in Minecraft, you go through and you dig through the ground and you find different things, and then you can craft them into more and more complicated things. So there's lots of different types of assets. And then, so it was a great test bed, for the blockchain, and again, for years. And then, a couple of years, or maybe like a year and a half into it, my partner and I were talking. We're like, wouldn't it be neat, so Ray Quintana, wouldn't it be neat if someday people could even play this game and make money, and so this is a good 3 years ago. And people in developing nations could actually even potentially earn a living, in a virtual economy like this, things like that. So the vision we had was kind of early of what has kind of evolved in blockchain gaming. And then we added in the concept of lit pets, which are creatures in the game that are NFTs, non-fungible tokens on chain. And then you take kind of base pets, and you take the base pets and combine them into the lit pets, and then the lit pets you can battle with. And again, this all predates Axie Infinity. So it's a lot of what Axie Infinity kind of turned into with battling between different creatures. And then the last bit that we've expanded into is we created like businesses. And so one of the things that I hope the Litcraft whole overall world turns into is like an entrepreneurial system where people could even learn real world entrepreneurship by playing the game. And so a lot of the things that that are in the businesses now are going to continue to expand. And so you'll have to go through all the steps of building a real life business, register it, get accounting help, legal help, do marketing, things like that. So all of that, I think is a compelling part of, what the original vision for Litcraft was.
Amazing. That's great. And as far as where Devio goes right now, like, what are you guys focusing on right now? What do you foresee for the coming months, in the future for Devio? And, what are your next steps? Where do you think it's going to go as far as development? And, when do you think the actual token is going to be launching, things like that?
Yeah. So Devio is really at an exciting time right now. We have kind of two main businesses. We have our ESG, environmental, social, and governance business, and then we have our NFT and gaming business. And so on the ESG side of things, the main emphasis in that is really a spin out that we had called Devstream, and Devstream is in the process of going public actually, and raised some separate money, and it's a neat company. It funds projects that fundamentally do good in the world. So for example, we could fund a project where, like in Africa, where you replace regular light bulbs with LED light bulbs that are 92% more efficient, and you do it at kind of a national scale at a place that
Right.
uses very dirty energy, like diesel fuel, for example. And so by doing that, you prevent a lot of carbon from going into the atmosphere. And so what we do is we fund that project, and by funding that project, they say like, wait, you're going to pay for us to install all the light bulbs? So we're like, yeah. And they're like, the only thing you want is the carbon offsets? So we're like, yeah. And it's a great business model too, because
awesome.
after kind of 15 months, we make our money back typically. And then we have sometimes up to a 10-year tail, of profits. And so the whole ESG space and the ESG movement really is a pretty positive thing. Here, sorry, just one second. My dog was adamant to get in, and he was scratching at the door, and I was hoping he would go
I
away,
understand that. I have around 6 dogs, so you don't have to explain.
You can't like yell in an interview like, stop scraping on the door, yeah. So Devstream really is a neat company, and it's going to do a lot of good in the world, and it has really a strong financial model too. One thing that's kind of neat about some of these concepts is it's applicable across the entire spectrum. Like you could literally care nothing about the earth and just look and like, wow, this is a good business, you make a lot of money. Or you could care nothing about money, and you could see like, wow, this is a good business, this is just doing a lot of good in the world, right? So it's applicable to everybody across the whole spectrum.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's a neat business. Sorry, what were you gonna ask?
No, I was just going to say, I love everything that Devio is doing. I kind of was just curious. I think that you guys have really been focusing more on creating a foundation versus marketing, right? I mean, that's kind of one thing I've seen, because you're such an amazing platform that's just so few people have heard of, and I find that really interesting, and I kind of see that. I think that you are the true diamond in the rough, and I was just kind of it's interesting to see how you guys have really been building this core and this solid foundation, and I think that you're going to come out of nowhere and just take the whole market by surprise once you guys launch. So
yeah, I think I've heard often we're the best project that somebody hasn't heard of, right? That kind of thing. So I mean, I'll admit, marketing in the crypto space is hard. There's like especially when you have technology that's as advanced as ours is, a lot of people don't give us credibility. They don't believe that what we're doing is real until they try it. When you look at our
transactions per second, it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah. When you look at our team, the thing I'm most proud of at Devio is our team. When you look at our team, the types of folks that have joined Devio's team, I mean, world-class team. It's the kind of team you would expect to see at a Fortune 500 company, right? Those types of folks don't join and stay at a company for years like our team has, unless what you're doing is real. So what we're doing is real. So one of the challenges, like I was saying, is the crypto space is hard to kind of rise above the noise. The other thing is there's so many shit projects out there that have a lot of money, right? And so you can't just spend your way into getting visibility, but we've been just building a real business instead, right? So
proof of you want to put the proof in the pudding, so they say.
That's so before I went up and let the dog in, I was describing we have our ESG business and Devstream, and so that's going well. The other half of our business is our NFT gaming business, and that part of our business actually is the place where we've been getting the most traction, really. And again, talking about our team, one of the team members that we just recently brought in is recently is relative, over the last year, is Jason Rakowski, and he was the person who was in charge of the Amazon Kindle project at Amazon, and worked with Jeff Bezos there, and built not only the hardware, but built a global marketplace. So there's not very many people in the world who have built a global marketplace. And Jason's one of those rare, kind of few people. And man, he knows his stuff. He's just amazing to work with. And so he's building our glass block marketplace. And to me, that's I think a game changer. So everything we're doing kind of on the ESG side is progressing, spun it out. All of the data on the ESG platform is going to be data that's held on our blockchain that gives you a source of truth and full provenance on the data and transparency. And that's what's desperately needed in the ESG space. And then on the gaming NFT side, we have the high-speed blockchain, high efficiency, ability to integrate with games, and then the marketplace now. So.
When would you foresee the glass block marketplace going online and being open to the public? I mean, what would your what are your timeframes on those types of things?
It's up now. Go to glassblock.io and you can buy things on it. And it's a traditional Web 2 feeling experience, but it's tied in with Web 3. And that's that's again game changing. So when you go and you look at what's going on in the crypto space, a lot of what people are doing in the crypto space is trying to find cross compatibility between different blockchains. There's things like integrations with MetaMask, to be able to tie in with Ethereum assets. But we really took a different approach from the beginning. I think it's kind of a fallacy that Web3 is just going to appear and replace Web2. To me, it clearly is going to be a transition over time, where things are going to go from Web2 to Web3 gradually. Web2 experiences and interfaces are still going to be kind of the norm. And again, we built our system from the beginning with this type of design in mind. And so what we ended up doing then is we built kind of a traditional Web 2 interface, and you could go on and buy an NFT, and then when you pay for it, you can pay with a credit card, just like any other thing, and it's as easy to use as signing up for a PayPal account or just buying something on Shopify or whatever. You can buy with crypto as well, and then you can also buy with DevPay. So you can buy with on-chain Devio assets, and then you go through again traditional checkout process, hit submit, and within a second you have your assets in your wallet. And then you can also go on Glassblock and you can see the DevX web app there as well, where you can see all of your assets in your wallet.
And we eventually be offering real world assets as well through this marketplace, or will it strictly be crypto assets?
I'm sure that there will be digital twins. I'm sure there will be kind of digital representations of physical assets, not just digital twins, but even the actual legal version, of like a car title or your title on your home or whatever. So definitely, so we built the Glass Block marketplace to work with any type of digital asset, and we created a really kind of clever NFT called the NFT 17. So it's kind of similar to an ERC 721, where you could track different assets. But the NFT 17 has every NFT 17 has an NFT 18 associated with it. So they kind of come in pairs. And the NFT 17 is what's minted and represents kind of that asset that you're buying. But then the NFT 18 that's linked to it has fields in it that can change. So the NFT 17 itself is immutable. And the whole blockchain obviously is immutable, but you can change the NFT 18. So the NFT 18 will have, if you change it, it creates a record on the blockchain, and the record is immutable. But the NFT 18 itself can change. So you could put things like, the price or other kinds of things that change over time associated with the NFT 17. So then, and we've actually been minting ESG carbon offsets and plastics offsets, all with these NFT 17s. And then you could go on to Glassblock and pick a category and buy, any type of asset. So
that's amazing. So I guess I'd ask you another question is kind of, where do you guys see yourselves as far as Devio and your ecosystem? Where do you guys see yourself in the crypto space in the coming years? I mean, what do you, where would you guys foresee yourself landing?
Yeah, I think we've taken from the beginning kind of fundamental decisions and a path that's different from most of the crypto space. And I think time has been showing that a lot of our original kind of decisions were correct. And I think time is going to show that other decisions we're making now and decisions we made are going to be more and more correct. It feels like we picked a kind of a good trajectory. It kind of reminds me of the movie Ready Player One. There's a scene where they're going on a race and everybody's lined up and 3, 2, 1, go, and everybody takes off, and the guy that wins actually throws it in reverse, and just goes a different direction than everybody else, and that's how you win. So that's kind of how I feel we've been. It's a different, like the blockchain space is like, oh, here's the latest thing. Oh, here's what everybody's doing. Oh, you can't do it different than anybody else, right?
Exactly.
But we have done it, different than everybody else. So we focused on sharding, where you can customize different shards in different regions, and you could create 1,000 different shards in 1,000 different legal jurisdictions. And we created this Web 2, RESTful API interface. And I think those decisions are going to drive us where we again solve problems that other blockchains can't. And once you get to a point like like blockchain is getting more and more real. There's starting to be more and more real applications where you need speed and throughput. So if you get to a point where you can build on this big behemoth system that isn't custom designed to what you need and difficult to integrate with, and you got to go out and hire a bunch of Solidity developers or other type of specialized developer, or you can just kind of have an AWS type of experience where you spin up your own shard, it does what you need, you just get your regular team that you already have to build an application on it, and then the application just works. Like people are going to use our platform. So 100%. Over time, more and more, I think, as we've been over the last year building real applications with regular development teams that aren't blockchain experts. And now we're getting close to a point where we can start to take that and make it where other people can build applications. And then that, I think, is really what's going to make us explode. Because then you have a situation where many different groups, many different projects with all of their communities are all getting access to our blockchain as well. So
that's great. And I guess what would you think? What do you think some of your milestones and some of your upcoming achievements will be in the coming months, in the coming years?
Yeah, so I think a couple of the milestones that we've recently hit leading into that are pretty big deals. We have a fully working web-based application in Glassblock that ties into multiple shards, and you can go into the experience game, for example, play for a while, craft something, and then once you craft it, you've built something of value through your time in the game, and you can just hit sell and click a price, and then it just appears on Glassblock. And so having a fully featured Glassblock implementation web application built on top of our blockchain is a big deal. And the fact that you can do credit card payments instantly and crypto payments, all the different kinds of payments, and just the traditional web checkout experience, like all of that built on top of a blockchain is very unique, and the speed and cost that we do it. We have our DevX web app similarly, which is at glassblock.io. So you can see a wallet application that also is a traditional Web 2 based application built by Web 2 developers that aren't blockchain experts, that then tie in and give you a full wallet experience. I mean, that's again, that's a big deal, amazing. Right? Yeah, it is. And then the speed at which it all works. And then we've got our experience game, and then experience game also is up and running. We actually had we launched it on Earth Day, April 22nd. Because it kind of embodies a lot of what we're doing in ESG in general, and the whole Litcraft universe and mentality embodies a lot of what ESG embodies. But then we've had a couple iterations, and especially when we tied it in with the seller's marketplace, and then you can then get on and buy stuff, and it appears, and then you can start using it in the game. It's the first kind of implementation that's really a true play to earn experience. So to me, that's the foundation that we're going to be hitting our next set of milestones. So what we're doing now in terms of Litcraft is building a version 2 economy And one of the things I think people don't really kind of fully grasp yet in the crypto gaming space or the blockchain gaming space is you have to build a broad economy to make a crypto
Yes.
game work. It's not, you also have to have fun games, which the crypto gaming space has kind of missed. But
people need to want to play them, right?
Yeah, they need to want to play, right? Not just for making money. Like, you arguably could make games that aren't fun and still have it work, but really what it's going to come down to is you're going to have games that are well developed, Web3 games that are fun, and well developed Web3 games that aren't fun, and people are going to play the fun ones,
For sure.
Yeah.
So that brings me to your Quint token, because you've also launched that. Now, is that going to be a platform where anybody can come in and build on your ecosystem, or is it only going to be games that you're developing, and for things that how's that going to work?
Yeah. So just finishing up real quick on kind of the milestones. Sorry. Yeah. So we're coming out with our version 2 ecosystem. That's going to be really compelling. And then we're expanding functionality in the Glassblock marketplace. We're building a web application, the DevX web app that's your wallet, like I said. And so we're going to expand functionality on that. And then we've expanded kind of the sellers marketplace. So just that whole ecosystem, how it's growing, and then that actually kind of leads into your next question that you just posed, is how can other people then tie into it? So a big trajectory I think we're going, and probably the biggest area of traction that's led to like, wow, this is a good way we're headed, is starting to build the tools where other people can come in and build on our blockchain. And so people, irrespective of how it ties in with tokens, the ability for people to come in and again have kind of an AWS experience where you just spin up your own shard, tie in with the RESTful API. That's one of the biggest kind of areas that we're headed. And then on the ESG side, taking Devstream public and then starting to really mint more and more ESG assets and start to collect more and more data and really show the world that you have a trustworthy, transparent data set that you can rely on to fix, the world's environmental problems, right? So,
agreed. That's amazing. I love it. That's really, really cool. Can you talk to me a little bit maybe about your tokenomics? Like, where you guys? Sorry, my dogs.
We got dogs on both ends of the call. Yeah.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I love what you're doing in general too. With Cryptopia and
thank you very
where you're
much.
Located. And, it's great stuff.
We're doing a lot of community projects and a lot of real world, basically real world impact with NFTs and things here. So yeah, it's great.
So actually, I'm gonna flip the tables, because I'll put this video out to my community. So it's great that like your community can learn a little bit more about Devio, but I'll forward this video to my community too. So maybe
thank you so much.
Just spend a moment just talking about what you're doing too. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I know you weren't expecting that, right? But
and I wasn't. Oh my God. Look at my notes.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No, basically here at Cryptopia, we're a VC group, as well as, we've recently launched a Karma NFT project, which has real world impact. And basically it's 1,000 NFTs that we are minting and selling at $400 per NFT. $100 of each NFT goes into a DAO investment. It gives also the NFT holders have access to our VC group, which means you will be able to get larger allocations in projects, reduced pool fees. So there's those types of aspects. But the real utility of the Karma NFT is we're building a clinic. We're building a real world clinic in the jungles of Guatemala that will basically be supporting around 12,000 indigenous Mayan people. So it's a great project. And like I said, they're $400. You're getting access to a VC, which, to be honest, the same types of allocations that we're giving for people, a few months back in the bull run, I mean, to get into VCs like what we're offering would have cost you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000, and right now you can pick up one of these NFTs for $400. So it's a night out on the town, having dinner with your significant other and a bottle of wine, or you could stay home and watch Netflix and order a pizza and actually have a positive impact on some local people's life here in the jungle. So that's kind of our sales pitch. But our big thing is our big thing is what we really believe is we're looking. These NFTs aren't for everybody. And what we're doing is we're looking for people that believe what we believe. And what we believe is, we want to have a positive impact on the world. We want to use blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs. We want to make money ourselves. We want our investors to make money. And we want to leave the world a better place for ourselves, for our kids and the next generation. And I think we can do that. It's not, I'm so tired of this whole, win Lambo, like, in the crypto space, everybody's just, greed, and it's only about making that quick buck. And it's like, I think we can all make money, but we can do that. And we, like you're saying, with the carbon offsets and these types of things, we can do all of that. We can all benefit from it, and we can still make money. I mean, we don't have to have, so much greed. And that's kind of where we're at with Cryptopia. And that's our mindset.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing. My community will love it. And there's a lot of kind of synergy in the philosophies between both of our projects. So, and I really appreciated all your support over time as well with what we're doing at Devio. So that's been great.
No problem. It's been great. Yeah, I've been there. I think I purchased some of your land and your lit pets right there at the very beginning, a year and a half ago or so. So it's a great project. Thank you. Well, fantastic. Is there anything you'd like to add or end with, on this, to let people, the community, my community, know, and the world at large?
Yeah, I think we hit the main things, the kind of where we're headed on ESG and NFT gaming, and then the way we're building an ecosystem and tying into the Glassrock marketplace. I mean, that's really it. So appreciate all the questions, and appreciate the opportunity to do an interview with you, John. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. I really do appreciate it. And if you're ever in Guatemala, feel free to come down and say hi. You can hang out, you can play with the dogs, and go see the clinic.
Nice, love it. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll be talking soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, everybody, I truly hope you enjoyed this interview with Tom Anderson from Devio. This is truly an amazing blockchain, in my opinion. They can do 8 million transactions per second. What they're doing in the space is truly, I feel, is a revolutionizing concept. So I personally am a big believer in this project. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Also, just for full transparency, I am invested in this project. I got into their pre-sale last year, and definitely I'm looking forward to their project launching, and I do think that this project has some amazing potential. So keep your eyes out for this one. All right, everybody, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a big favor. Hit that like and subscribe button, turn on that bell notification, and make sure you go over and join our Patreon. We have some amazing opportunities in there. You get buy, sell, stake alerts, as well as you get access to myself and the entire Cryptopia team in a private VIP Telegram chat. And basically, apart from all that, you get to partake in private sales and seed sales via our VC group. So we got some amazing projects lined up in the coming weeks and coming months, so don't miss out on that. Check out our Patreon. It's only $10 a month. All right, everybody, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.